Hi everyone, I'm Shelly and you're watching There's No Place Like Home. Today I wanted to share with you a frequently asked question. Do I use my question the narrative videos in my homeschool? Since my question the narrative videos are the most popular videos that I put out, although I did start this channel as a homeschooling channel, it is a frequent assumption of people that I must be incorporating my question the narrative videos into our homeschool. And in fact, I get a lot of encouragement telling me how awesome that would be for my children and how amazing it is to learn that way. But I'm going to share something with you that might surprise you. My children don't really watch my question the narrative videos. In fact, up until recently, they hadn't seen a single one of my question the narrative videos. And even now, only my youngest has watched one of them, and it was because she requested it. Now, the reason that I don't really use my question the narrative videos with my children is just because, first of all, I don't know how the ad stuff works on YouTube. I know I've been here for a really long time, but I'm paranoid about that stuff, especially with those couple years that I spent where they had my comments shut off and wouldn't even let anyone comment on my channel. Now I'm just I kind of tiptoe, I tread very lightly when it comes to YouTube. So no, I don't show them my question the narrative videos just because I do have the ads on them. Now, yeah, I could always just show them while they're on my computer, in the editor that I record them in. But to be honest, it's easier for my children to watch videos on our TV where they can all sit and watch rather than having 6 kids all surround my computer. So that's the first reason. And the second reason is honestly because up until just a couple days ago, my children have never asked if they could watch any of my question the narrative videos. In fact, I don't even know if they know specifically what my videos are about because they're not even in the room. They're not even on the same floor as me when I make the question the narrative videos because I get a little bit flustered if anyone is around. I need to be able to concentrate, so I always ask them if they can just go play in their room, or sometimes they go outside while I make the videos. That does not mean, however, that I am not teaching my children to question the narrative. The fact is that they question the narrative with me every day because this is something that we do in our everyday life. So while we don't make it a part of our structured homeschool day, okay, sometimes if I'm reading something that doesn't sound right, I will interject something that I've learned along my questioning the narrative research. So sometimes, yeah, but usually it's not, something that I structure into our homeschool day. It's in our everyday conversations, our everyday routines, our everyday observations. And, to be quite honest, those are the things that stick with children far more than any of the structured homeschooling that we can do, which is why a lot of times I do ask myself, why do I spend so much time on structured homeschooling when there's so much learning to be found in the world around us? So one example that I actually have of this is a few days ago, we went on a nature study because it was 60 degrees in February in Pennsylvania, and that's unheard of. So we took advantage of it and we went walking along the trail where Bedbug Cave is. And yes, that's one that I've actually featured in a couple of my question the narrative videos. And as I was walking along the trail, I was just showing my children what definitely looks like petrified trees, like gigantic petrified trees. And I was talking to them about the one impression in the ground that I always say looks like a giant footprint, and that's probably not what it is, but I tell them that that's what it looks like, and they can actually show you like where the heel is and where the instep is and where the 5 toes are. Like it's distinct. It certainly looks like that. But even though it's probably not what it is, it opens us up to more discussion because then we start talking about things like giants and the fact that there were giants. The Bible tells us that there were giants. As we drive past the mountains by our house, it's clear that they are, well, I say man-made, but probably not man-made. I'd say more likely giant-made because they are gigantic, but they definitely look like spoil tips. They look like the leftover slags from mining, because it is a mining area. So I have to say that there are lots of mines in the area, and this is something that they tell you is a mountain, but to me it definitely looks like it was left over from mining, and it is very tall and it looks way too big to just be a slag from a giant. So anyway, so they've already seen that. So that just opened up conversation about giants and about how they could have mined in our area and these giant trees. And then my youngest daughter was talking to me about how she would love to have these gigantic trees around. And she started talking about the movie Avatar and the giant trees in that movie. And that morphed into us talking then about the trolls and how they would petrify in the sun. And then that led us to talking about petrified giants, petrified titans, because those are things, even though they haven't seen my videos, they are still things that I talk about them because they're things that interest me. And they can see my enthusiasm, and they really do pick up on that. My 14-year-old son, he also really likes looking up petrified giants as well. So that's what we spent a good part of our walk on the trail talking about, was about the petrified woods. We went and we explored the cave, and we talked about, what the rocks could possibly be around it, because a lot of them don't really look like rocks. And then we did talk about the trolls and the giants. We talked about biblical times. And that is how I approach questioning the narrative with my children. Some other ways that we do that is I love to go walking around my town, taking pictures of the architecture, because yes, there are a lot of buildings that definitely have what we would call mud flood windows. No, they are not coal chutes. I know the difference. They're not coal chutes. They look like mud flood windows. And in fact, a lot of times it is entire doors that have been cut off, because they're the doors, you can tell they were once doors, but they're only like this tall now. And then the rest of it is likely underground. So we talk about that. We talk about the mud flood that way. We talk about the reset. And that's really what homeschooling should be about, is just having these fantastic conversations with your children. Let them know what you're interested in. Let them see you researching things when you want to know more about them. And then really be a good model for your children so that they can understand what it is that they have to do if they want to learn more about something. So as we were walking along that trail, though, the other day, then finally my daughter did say to me, she said something about trolls, and she said, can we watch the troll movie? And she was talking about the movie Troll Hunter. And I said to her, yeah, we can watch that. And I have to say, she's almost 10. So when I say my youngest daughter, I'm not talking about like a 4-year-old. So I said, yes, we can watch that when we get home. And then I said to her, I said, one of my most popular Question the Narrative videos was about trolls. And she said, can I watch it? And I was like, oh, wow, because none of my children ever asked if they could watch my videos before. And I'm not going to push them on them. I want them to actually want to watch them. So yeah, so that night I put it on my laptop so that there would be no ads that I had to worry about, and since she was the only one watching it, it was fine. And then yeah, she sat through the entire 27-minute video that I made, and she kept pausing it, and she kept having conversations with me, pointing out things in these pictures of what looked like petrified giants, and when I saw only one face there, she would clearly point out to me 3 faces. So, the eyes of a child, right? They really do pick up on so many things. And so she was genuinely interested in this because, yeah, she kept stopping and she kept calling me out to the kitchen so that she could show me something else that she saw, or so that she could make a comment. And then the next day, for her self-directed learning, she asked me if she could do a notebooking page about giants. And I said, of course. So then she wrote a notebooking page of facts about giants. And that's what she did for her self-directed learning that day. So yeah, even though I do have, this whole playlist of Question the Narrative videos, and even though people automatically assume that I'm using them as part of my homeschool curriculum, I'm not. I am using the knowledge that I've attained in researching them and in recording them with my children, but it's not something that I'm actually setting up as a lesson. It's something that is just coming up in everyday life. And again, I think that's the best way to approach it. That's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one either here or over on Instagram. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And I hope you have a great day.